Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades. And today we're going to be asking the question, is alt season already over? Just before it got started, we're going to look at some indicators, some charts. We're going to talk about whether it's been good to have diamond hands or not. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and it does help support the channel. And if you're new, welcome. Smash that subscribe button and you'll get my daily updates. First of all, I want to look at a tweet from Eric Trump where he talked about buy Ethereum, thank him later. Then Ethereum dropped 40%. So then Eric Trump went and posted on one of those posts by Ted Pillows, how am I doing now, Ted Pillows? Because all the way back to break even. And then Ted is doing some kind of, I must admit you did it. I don't get that. I'm sorry. But here's the deal. Those people that listened to that tweet and bought Ethereum and then had to watch it drop 40% probably aren't billionaires like Eric Trump and were able to buy the dip and average down their position and quite possibly had to wait until they're back at break even, maybe in a little bit of profit. Someone even posted on YouTube, one of my YouTube videos, that's so glad they didn't sell their ETH because they're back in profit, which I think is great, by the way. However, is there a better way? Because I have to disagree with Mr. Ted Pillows here when he says you did it. No, you didn't do it. How is saying, oh, buy Ethereum here, it drops 40%, and now suddenly when it's back at break even, claiming that they were right all along, etc. That I don't know about you, but that ain't working for me. Let me tell you a better way than the diamond hands way. Before we do that, I want to look at the altcoin market. I want to see if alt season is over, what the strategy should be. Let me know what you think about the Eric Trump tweet. Obviously, in my opinion, he got it horribly wrong, and now he's trying to cover his own ass by saying, oh yeah, I was right all along, lucky you bought the dip because now it's up a couple of $100. Wow. If you bought when Eric Trump had told you to buy, it'll be up a few $100. That's if you bought one Ethereum. If you bought two Ethereum, it'd be up $500. I want to go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. And I did share in yesterday's video how important it was that we broke down below the 50-week moving average. This is the 50-week moving average here, and how it's important that we broke below. We actually found support on that. So really, for alt season to continue, we must break down below the 50-week moving average. Now, having a pause there is okay. Having a little bit of a bounce there, making a bit of a lower low is okay. But essentially, we must break down from the 50-week moving average. Alt season is to continue. Okay. Now, first and foremost, of course, we had these tribal trades indicator here, which is these reversal signals, which shows it's time to get into altcoins there around about the 23rd of June. That gave you a bang on entry to jump into altcoins. We don't have a reversal signal. We are going into this oversold area for Bitcoin dominance. And so, but we don't have a reversal such as what we saw reversal here and here, which would have been great times to get out of altcoins before Bitcoin dominance went parabolic. So we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll keep you updated on there if I do see any signals in regards to that. Let's look at the altcoin total market cap. We are way extended from the 9 EMA, and look at other occasions when we get overextended from the 9 EMA, we tend to come back to it, or the 9 EMA comes up to it to connect with it. And so in this case, we could have a little bit of a both. Obviously, we're having a little bit of a cool off. We could create a little bit of a bull flag here and meanwhile hold the 9 EMA. Now, we do have a yellow, bit of a warning signal, not a signal for me to get out. However, I would be looking for the red dot, because you can see we got the yellow, but then we've got a Uno reverse where it reversed, and we got a bit of a blue arrow. So the yellow isn't always the sign, but sometimes it is. As you can see, you got the yellow warning before you got the red dot. Here you got the yellow warning, but we got no red dot. And so I will be looking for a red dot on the tribal trades indicator. And this will bring me to the question of, and we'll go to the Ethereum chart in a moment, is diamond hands the best method? For me, I would say no. The best method would have been to have bought the dip not buying when Eric Trump said to buy, but to have bought the dip and rode it up, and you could have been an incredible profit now instead of just getting back to break even and a little bit of profit. And I'll show you how I do this. So right now that's at 1.44 trillion. We're up at a whopping 1.51 trillion. And so do expect that we do come back to test this 9 EMA, but it might not be at 1.44 when we come and retest. It might be at 1.46 or it might be 1.47. The longer this price action stays up here, the more this is going to come up to me. We could just drop straight down to that level where it is at the moment at 1.44. So keep an eye on that. On weekly time frame, of course, there's no yellow triangle there. So, and again, it just comes down to when was the best place. There are some people that diamond handed their alts all the way from December all the way down to April. The diamond hand strategy, I'm sorry, is not the best strategy. I disagree, because again, what if we'd gone into a bear market, people would have diamond handed this all the way down. In my opinion, it's much better when you see a trend reversal. That's why I trade off, is to spot trend reversals, bullish and bearish reversals. This is why this indicator was created, to get out at or near the top. It's not perfect. It's not going to get me out right at the top. It's not going to get me in right at the bottom, but to get out here in December and then to jump back in April and then to jump in on June the 23rd gave perfect entries for these big moves to the upside. So you don't catch them half the way up. You don't FOMO in near the top when it's starting to look like it's topping out, and a little bit of a pullback is a possibility. So let's look at Ethereum. I want to look at the Ethereum chart and show you how this would have been the place. So Eric Trump was telling everybody to buy Ethereum back in February around to here, and then it absolutely collapsed. But the Tribal Trades indicator told you get out at around this level at around $4,000, accurately would have gotten you out at the top, and then would have accurately gotten you in, not quite at the bottom, because the bottom came all the way down to about 1,300, but it would have got you back in around about that 1,600 to 1,700 area, and then you could have ridden that all the way up. This is a much better strategy, in my opinion, than diamond handing down and just buying the dip that keeps dipping. If you're able to, of course. If you went all in at the level that he told you to, then you had to wait. How long to wait? A long months, 5 months you would have had to have waited to even get back to a place where you're either in break even or in profit. Again, we have the yellow triangle there. We don't have the red dot for Ethereum, either on the weekly or on the daily, but I would be, if it was me and I had Ethereum, I would be poised and I would be ready to jump out of positions if there was some kind of reversal there on the Ethereum chart. But this has been some move to the upside there. Let's look at the Bitcoin charts, because I wanted to check and see how that was going. Remember, we have the inverse head and shoulders play. Now listen, just because we're in an inverse head and shoulders pattern doesn't mean that it's going to, number one, get all the way to the technical target of 145,000, or that it can't be a big fake out and just drop down and become invalidated if we drop back below the neckline there, which is sitting at about 111,000 there, because that's where the 9 EMA on the weekly is. If we look at the daily chart, the big line in the sand is the 9 EMA on the daily. If we were to lose that level, which close under that level, and then a candle were to open and close below that level, then that would be a sign for me to look at the charts and a potential exit of that position that I got in all the way back here around about the 23rd of June and was able to ride that up. Because I'm not diamond handing Bitcoin all the way back to 110 or 100, or if we go into a bear market, all the way down. There is a bull flag pattern here. The technical target for that is about 125,000, but we've not broken out of that pattern. That's not valid yet. So we've got to understand things have to be validated first. If we were to break out of this level here and go above, then that's great. But if not, it's not a valid play, and it can become invalidated. It could break out and then just dump straight back down again for Bitcoin. So that's the levels that I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Of course, for me, anytime Bitcoin does come down and hit this 9 EMA on the daily and holds, this can be a good short little trade to the upside there. You see, every time that's happened, you would have made some good money on that trade. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin trade there. I also wanted to look at USDT dominance because this chart also can be a good signal as to reversals, because it is generally a good time there. There you go, Monday the 23rd of June. That was the date. We got signals across all of for the tribal trades indicator. That would have been a good time to jump into altcoins. People were selling the USDT. That's why the chart is going down. The amount of USDT is leaving the market and going into altcoins and Bitcoin. And as soon as we see a green dot here, that's a reversal signal. And especially when we see it break above the 9 and the 9 above the 20, that's the time to get out of altcoins and get back into USDT. It just seems a more logical strategy for me, and this is a strategy that I teach in the Tribal Trades Discord, is to buy the dips and sell the rips rather than holding on for dear life with diamond hands to the bottom, hoping that and praying that we're not going into a bear market and you just keep holding a dip that keeps dipping, and then you have to hold your coins throughout the bear market. We don't want to be bag holders in the bear market. We don't want to be looking around for a chair when the music stops and realizing there's no chair because everybody outsold and you're still bag holding. We don't want to be in that situation there, okay? So that's my strategy. That's my plan, is that when I see a reversal and the Tribal Trades indicator spots that reversal and signals that, then I want to make a move either to buy or to sell, depending on it's a red dot or it's a green dot. And look, you might be sitting there, and this is a very, very valid point. You might be sitting there, well, I don't have to be sitting there and buying and selling. I just rather hold and not have to worry about it, et cetera, et cetera. And I get that. But do you really want to be holding all the way down to the bear market? This is your money. As this is an investment that you have made, I would have a strategy with that investment. And then for those people, the weekly time frame is a fantastic strategy, because then on the weekly time frame, you can jump into and say, right, I'm going to be selling, and you sell, in December, you don't have to worry about it. You get the buy signal all the way down in April here, the 21st of April, and then really you don't have any kind of bearish reversal, and we're in July. So you're not really having to watch and buy and sell out as the reversals happen. And sure, if you're a short-term trader, and that's your thing, your day trader, you'll have to be looking on the hourly time frame or the 4 hour on the daily time frame. You have to keep more of an eye on your trades. But on the weekly time frame, if you're a longer term investor, this signal is absolute bang on, has been just incredible. As you can see historically, I have bought when there has been a green dot bullish reversal signal on the weekly time frame, and then gotten out when there has been a bearish red dot reversal signal. That has always paid off very well. Now, if this indicator is only available via the Tribal Trades Discord, you see the wins section there. Absolutely some incredible trades. That's my favorite section of the Discord, when I see the Tribal Trades family posting wins, okay? And of course, there's the Tribal Trades indicator. It's a paid indicator. It comes with the Discord. The Discord is unfortunately closed at the moment, but you can get on the waiting list. So as soon as spots open up, sometimes we have people who may not renew their subscription, then I would move people off the waiting list. And we've been able to move a few people off the waiting list this week, in fact, who've gotten early access to the Tribal Trades Discord family. And then we will open up the Discord again, and those who are on the wait list will be moved up, and they will be prioritized when we do open the Discord up again. We did have it open for June and the first week of July. I will let you all know when I plan on opening it up again. It will be opened up again this year, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, you can reserve your spot and get priority. There's a link below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. It will pop out, and then you will see there is a link there. You can click on that link and you can join the waitlist for the Tribal Trades Discord. We have the life-changing gains trading course, which I highly recommend all new people who join the Discord do that first. Go through the Tribal Trades Trading University there. There's a new lesson weekly generally, and there are tons of other channels here as well. I won't go into all of those today just for the sake of time, because time is up. Until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.